She was just sitting in the courtroom until the judge realized she was the one who saved him. Her job was routine: check supplies, mark gear, move on. Nobody paid attention to the quiet one with the clipboard. But when she noticed the count was off, explosives missing, cereals not matching, she didn't look the other way. She reported it, got ignored, and then followed the trail herself. What she uncovered stopped a shipment headed straight into the wrong hands. Her little list unraveled a smuggling ring inside the base. The quiet one with the pen? She just saved hundreds of lives without ever touching a weapon. From which part of the world are you watching this video today? If you appreciate stories about attention to detail, following your instincts when something's wrong, and proving that heroes come in all forms, consider subscribing for more content that celebrates those who see what others miss and act when it matters most. The morning sun cast long shadows across the supply depot at Forward Operating Base Resolute as Corporal Jessica Martinez began her routine inventory check at 0630 hours. The warehouse's orderly rows of military equipment and supplies created a maze of responsibility that required meticulous attention to detail and systematic documentation. Martinez moved through her assigned sections with the quiet efficiency of someone who understood that accurate inventory management formed the foundation of operational readiness. Though her work rarely received recognition from personnel focused on more visible military duties. Morning Inventory, Section Delta 7. She announced quietly to Sergeant First Class Robert Chun, the supplies sergeant responsible for overseeing warehouse operations. Her voice carried the professional competence of someone who took administrative precision seriously, even when others might view such work as routine paperwork. Chun looked up from his logistical coordination duties while managing multiple concurrent supply requests from operational units throughout the base. Standard procedure, Martinez. Focus on ammunition and sensitive items. We've got a major resupply operation scheduled for this afternoon. Martinez nodded acknowledgement while opening her inspection checklist and beginning the systematic verification process that ensured accurate accountability for thousands of items ranging from basic supplies to sophisticated military equipment. Her methodology emphasized thoroughness over speed, recognizing that inventory errors could compromise operational effectiveness or create security vulnerabilities. The warehouse environment required constant vigilance as Martinez navigated between towering shelves stocked with equipment that supported diverse military operations. Each item required verification against computerized inventory records, physical inspection for condition and security, and documentation of any discrepancies that might indicate supply chain problems or security concerns. Ammunition storage, conducting detailed count. Martinez reported as she entered the secure area containing explosive materials and sensitive military ordnance. The high-security section required additional verification procedures and specialized documentation to ensure complete accountability for items that could pose significant risks if mishandled or misappropriated. Her systematic approach involved comparing physical counts against digital inventory records while simultaneously checking serial numbers, lot codes, and storage conditions for thousands of individual items. The process was methodical and time-consuming, but Martinez understood that accurate documentation prevented supply shortages that could endanger operational missions. Something doesn't match here, she murmured to herself as she discovered discrepancies between physical counts and computer records for several categories of explosive materials. The differences were subtle but consistent, suggesting systematic rather than random inventory errors. Martinez documented the discrepancies while continuing her verification process, noting that the pattern of missing items followed specific lot numbers and serial number sequences that indicated possible systematic diversion rather than administrative errors or normal supply consumption. Sergeant Chun, I'm finding consistent discrepancies in explosive materials inventory, Martinez reported to her supervisor while maintaining her systematic documentation process. The shortages follow patterns that might indicate systemic issues rather than random administrative errors. Chun reviewed Martinez's preliminary findings while managing ongoing supply operations that required his immediate attention. Martinez, inventory discrepancies happen frequently in high-volume operations. Document everything thoroughly, and we'll resolve the paperwork issues during the next reconciliation cycle. Understood, Sergeant, Martinez replied. though her growing concern about the systematic nature of the discrepancies suggested problems that extended beyond routine administrative errors. I'll complete comprehensive documentation and provide detailed analysis of the patterns I'm observing. The systematic inventory continuation revealed additional discrepancies that reinforced Martinez's concern about organized diversion rather than random administrative mistakes. The missing materials followed patterns that suggested knowledge of inventory procedures and deliberate manipulation of documentation systems. Serial number sequences are missing in organized blocks, Martinez noted as she documented increasingly concerning evidence of systematic inventory manipulation. The pattern suggests someone with detailed knowledge of our inventory management systems and access to secured storage areas. Her documentation expanded to include temporal analysis showing that the discrepancies had developed over several months, indicating sustained access and systematic exploitation of inventory management vulnerabilities. The evidence suggested internal involvement rather than external theft or random administrative failures. Completing detailed analysis for supervisory review, Martinez documented as she compiled comprehensive evidence of what appeared to be organized diversion of sensitive military materials. Her systematic approach had revealed security vulnerabilities that threatened both operational effectiveness and public safety. Later that afternoon, Martinez presented her detailed findings to Sergeant Chun, expecting immediate action to address the security concerns that her investigation had revealed. Her documentation included comprehensive analysis showing systematic diversion patterns that clearly indicated organized criminal activity. Sergeant, my analysis shows systematic diversion of explosive materials over a 3-month period, Martinez explained while presenting her detailed documentation. The patterns indicate insider knowledge and coordinated access to secured areas and inventory management systems. Chun reviewed Martinez's analysis with obvious impatience, treating her findings as administrative inconvenience rather than serious security concerns. Martinez, inventory management involves thousands of transactions. Discrepancies are normal and usually resolve themselves through standard reconciliation procedures. With respect, Sergeant, these aren't random discrepancies, Martinez persisted, highlighting specific evidence from her investigation. The patterns show systematic targeting of specific material types and lot numbers that would require detailed knowledge of military applications and supply chain vulnerabilities. Martinez, your job is inventory documentation, not criminal investigation, Chun replied dismissively. Submit your paperwork through normal channels and let security personnel handle any actual threats. Focus on your assigned administrative duties. The dismissal was both unexpected and concerning, given the serious security implications of Martinez's findings. Her evidence clearly indicated organized criminal activity that posed immediate threats to base security and public safety, yet her supervisors seemed reluctant to pursue investigation or implement security measures. Understood, Sergeant, Martinez replied while feeling growing concern about institutional reluctance to address clear evidence of security violations. I'll document everything according to standard procedures. Despite official dismissal of her concerns, Martinez continued her investigation during off-duty hours, recognizing that the evidence she had discovered indicated threats that extended beyond administrative inconvenience to potential national security violations and public safety risks. Her unofficial investigation revealed additional evidence suggesting that the systematic diversion involved coordination between supply personnel and external contacts who possessed sophisticated knowledge of military inventory systems and operational security procedures. Transportation schedules correlate with inventory discrepancies, Martinez noted as she expanded her analysis to include shipping records and personnel access patterns. The coordination suggests multiple participants with different areas of expertise and access. The investigation complexity increased as Martinez discovered evidence indicating that the diversion operation involved not just theft, but systematic redirection of sensitive materials toward destinations that weren't authorized for such items. The criminal enterprise appeared to involve trafficking military ordnance to unauthorized recipients. This is beyond simple theft, Martinez realized as her investigation revealed the scope and sophistication of the criminal operation. They're trafficking military explosives to destinations that could include terrorist organizations or criminal enterprises. Her continued investigation during personal time revealed evidence of systematic document falsification, coordinated access manipulation, and sophisticated transportation arrangements that indicated criminal enterprise with significant resources and organizational capabilities. Multiple personnel involved, external coordination confirmed. Martinez documented as her investigation revealed the criminal network's complexity and operational sophistication. The enterprise poses immediate threats to national security and public safety. Martinez faced a difficult decision about how to proceed with evidence of serious criminal activity when official channels had dismissed her initial reports as administrative inconvenience. Her investigation had revealed threats that required immediate action, but institutional resistance suggested possible internal compromise. Rather than accept official dismissal of serious security threats, Martinez decided to contact base security directly with her evidence, bypassing supply chain supervision that had proven unresponsive to legitimate security concerns. Base security, this is Corporal Martinez from Supply Operations. She transmitted on the security coordination frequency. I have evidence of systematic diversion of explosive materials that appears to involve organized criminal activity. Requesting immediate security investigation. The response from Staff Sergeant Patricia Lopez and Base Security was immediate and professional. Martinez, what type of evidence are you reporting? Provide specific details about the nature and scope of the suspected criminal activity. Martinez transmitted her comprehensive analysis while emphasizing the systematic nature of the diversions and the evidence indicating organized criminal enterprise. Sergeant, I have documented systematic diversion of explosive materials over 3 months, involving multiple personnel and external coordination. The evidence indicates trafficking to unauthorized destinations. Martinez, report to Security Office immediately with all documentation. Staff Sergeant Lopez responded. This type of activity requires immediate investigation and possible law enforcement coordination. The security investigation that followed Martinez's report revealed the full scope of the criminal enterprise, confirming her analysis and leading to coordinated law enforcement action that prevented distribution of military explosives to terrorist organizations and criminal enterprises. Your investigation provided the foundation for discovering a sophisticated trafficking network, explained Captain David Kim, the security officer who coordinated the criminal investigation. Without your systematic documentation and persistent follow-up, we might never have detected this threat until after catastrophic consequences. The criminal network scope exceeded even Martinez's comprehensive analysis, involving supply personnel from multiple bases and external contacts with connections to international criminal organizations and terrorist networks. Her attention to inventory details had prevented weapons trafficking that could have resulted in mass casualty attacks. The explosives you tracked were destined for terrorist cells planning attacks on civilian targets, Captain Kim explained during the security briefing. Your investigation prevented potential mass casualty events that could have killed hundreds of innocent people. Martinez felt both pride in preventing catastrophic attacks and concern about institutional failures that had nearly allowed such serious threats to continue undetected. Sir, the systematic nature of the diversion should have triggered automatic security alerts. How did this criminal enterprise operate undetected for so long? Your analysis revealed vulnerabilities in our inventory management and security monitoring systems, Captain Kim acknowledged. The criminal network exploited gaps between administrative procedures and security oversight that we're now addressing through systematic improvements. The investigation's success led to multiple arrests and prosecution of personnel involved in the trafficking network, while Martinez's methodology became the foundation for enhanced security monitoring throughout the military supply chain system. Martinez, your attention to detail and persistence in pursuing security concerns probably prevented terrorist attacks that could have killed hundreds of civilians, Captain Kim observed. Your investigation represents exactly the kind of vigilance that protects both military personnel and civilian populations. Over the following weeks, Martinez found herself increasingly involved in security investigations as her analytical methods proved effective for detecting criminal activity and security vulnerabilities that conventional oversight had missed. Her systematic approach to inventory management had revealed capabilities that extended far beyond routine administrative duties. "Martinez, I want to discuss your career development," Captain Kim said during a private meeting in his office. "Your investigative capabilities and analytical methods demonstrate potential that extends far beyond supply management responsibilities." Martinez considered the captain's observation carefully. "Sir, systematic inventory management provides perspective on supply chain vulnerabilities and criminal exploitation methods that can enhance security effectiveness when properly integrated with security monitoring. I'm recommending you for advanced security training and assignment to criminal investigation duties. Your analytical capabilities are too valuable to limit to supply management alone." The recommendation represented both recognition of her demonstrated capabilities and opportunity for expanded security responsibilities, but Martinez felt committed to ensuring that supply personnel throughout the military received training that could enable similar security contributions. "Sir, I appreciate the opportunity, but I'd like to request assignment to develop enhanced training programs that integrate supply management capabilities with security monitoring. The analytical methods that proved effective during criminal investigation could benefit other specialists facing similar security challenges." Captain Kim smiled at Martinez's response. "That's exactly the kind of thinking that makes you valuable, Martinez. You understand that individual success should contribute to broader institutional security capability rather than just personal advancement." The solution involved Martinez accepting expanded responsibilities that combined security duties with development of enhanced supply management training programs. Her criminal investigation breakthrough became the foundation for improved integration of supply specialists with security operations throughout the military. The fundamental principle, Martinez explained to new supply specialists during training sessions, is that effective supply management requires understanding how inventory control contributes to security rather than just maintaining administrative accuracy. Her training emphasized the analytical methods and security awareness that had made her investigation so effective. Students learned to integrate inventory management with security monitoring, identify criminal activity patterns, and provide supply chain intelligence that could enhance security effectiveness. "Remember," she continued during training sessions, "your mission extends beyond maintaining accurate inventory to providing security intelligence that prevents criminal exploitation of military resources. Understanding security requirements makes you a more effective supply specialist." The program Martinez developed became a model for supply management training throughout the military. Her methods combined traditional inventory procedures with security education that enabled supply specialists to contribute criminal detection and security monitoring capabilities during routine operations. Several months later, the criminal prosecution resulting from Martinez's investigation reached trial phase, requiring her testimony about the evidence and analytical methods that had exposed the trafficking network. Her court appearance would test her ability to explain complex investigative procedures to civilian legal system personnel. The trial of United States versus Chun and Associates requires your testimony as the investigating party who discovered the criminal enterprise, explained Captain Jennifer Santos, the military legal officer coordinating with civilian prosecutors. Your analysis and documentation provided the foundation for the entire criminal case. Martinez prepared comprehensive testimony explaining her investigative methodology and the evidence that had revealed the trafficking network's operations. Her presentation needed to be accessible to civilian legal professionals while maintaining the technical accuracy necessary for successful prosecution. The key is explaining how systematic inventory analysis revealed patterns that indicated organized criminal activity, Captain Santos advised during testimony preparation. The jury needs to understand how your attention to detail exposed threats that conventional oversight had missed. The courtroom environment was intimidating as Martinez presented her testimony to civilian legal professionals who lacked military background to understand the technical aspects of inventory management and security procedures. Her explanation needed to be both comprehensive and accessible. "Your Honor, I discovered systematic discrepancies in explosive materials inventory that followed patterns indicating organized diversion rather than administrative errors," Martinez explained to Judge Patricia Morrison, who presided over the criminal trial. The patterns showed knowledge of military inventory systems and coordinated access to secured storage areas. Judge Morrison studied Martinez's evidence while considering the legal implications of the criminal enterprise that her investigation had exposed. Ms. Martinez, explain how your routine inventory procedures enabled detection of this sophisticated criminal network. Your Honor, systematic verification of physical inventory against computerized records revealed discrepancies that followed organized patterns over several months. Martinez explained while presenting her analytical documentation. The evidence indicated coordination between multiple personnel with specialized knowledge and external contacts. The testimony continued for several hours as Martinez explained the investigative methodology that had revealed the trafficking network's scope and prevented distribution of military explosives to terrorist organizations. Her systematic approach to inventory management had provided the foundation for successful criminal prosecution. Ms. Martinez, your investigation prevented potential mass casualty attacks by detecting criminal diversion of military explosives, Judge Morrison observed during the trial proceedings. Your attention to administrative detail had consequences that extended far beyond inventory management to national security and public safety. Martinez felt both pride in contributing to successful prosecution and humility about the recognition she was receiving for doing what she considered professional duty. Your Honor, systematic inventory management is designed to detect exactly these types of security threats. I was simply following established procedures thoroughly. Ms. Martinez, your persistent investigation when supervisors dismissed your concerns demonstrated initiative that went far beyond established procedures, Judge Morrison corrected. Your willingness to pursue security threats despite institutional resistance probably saved hundreds of lives. The trial concluded with successful prosecution of the trafficking network, validating Martinez's investigative methods and establishing legal precedent for enhanced security monitoring of military supply chains. Her testimony had been instrumental in achieving criminal convictions that prevented future trafficking attempts. During the trial's conclusion, Judge Morrison made an unexpected personal revelation that transformed Martinez's understanding of the investigation's impact. Ms. Martinez, I want you to know that this case has personal significance beyond its legal implications. My son serves in Afghanistan, where some of these diverted explosives were destined for terrorist attacks against American forces. The judge's statement created emotional resonance that transcended legal proceedings, connecting Martinez's administrative diligence to personal protection of military families and civilian populations. Her routine inventory management had prevented attacks that could have affected Judge Morrison's family directly. Your investigation didn't just prevent abstract threats, Judge Morrison continued. It prevented specific attacks that could have killed American soldiers, including my son, and civilian populations throughout the region. Your attention to detail had consequences that extend to families like mine. Martinez felt overwhelming emotion as she realized that her systematic inventory procedures had prevented attacks that could have affected specific individuals, including the family of the judge who was recognizing her contributions. Her administrative work had protected people she would never meet, but whose lives had real meaning. Your Honor, I had no knowledge of the personal connections, but I'm grateful that systematic inventory management prevented threats to your family and other military families, Martinez responded. Professional responsibility requires following security procedures regardless of personal recognition. Ms. Martinez, your example demonstrates that heroism takes many forms, Judge Morrison concluded. You saved lives without ever carrying a weapon, simply by doing administrative work with extraordinary attention to detail and persistent concern for security. The courtroom recognition validated Martinez's career progression from routine supply specialist to security investigator, while highlighting the broader principle that military effectiveness depended on professional excellence at all levels of service, regardless of visibility or recognition. What you accomplished demonstrates that national security depends on individuals who perform routine duties with exceptional professionalism, Judge Morrison observed during the trial's conclusion. Your investigation represents the highest traditions of military service and civilian protection. The trial's conclusion led to institutional recognition of Martinez's contributions and adoption of her analytical methods throughout military supply chain security monitoring. Her investigative procedures became standard training for supply specialists worldwide. Corporal Martinez's methodology has been adopted as the standard for supply chain security monitoring, observed Brigadier General Patricia Foster during a comprehensive review of security training programs. Her analytical approach to inventory management provides a model that enhances security effectiveness throughout military supply operations. The institutional impact of Martinez's investigation extended far beyond the specific criminal prosecution to fundamental improvements in military supply chain security and criminal detection capabilities. Her systematic approach to routine administrative duties had revealed possibilities for enhanced security that conventional oversight had missed. Colonel Kim, who had witnessed Martinez's transformation from supply specialist to security investigator, reflected on the broader implications during a staff meeting with senior leadership. The lesson extends beyond improved security procedures. It demonstrates the critical importance of systematic attention to detail and persistent investigation of security concerns, regardless of initial institutional response. The institutional changes that followed Martinez's success represented a fundamental shift in how military organizations approach supply chain security and administrative personnel training. Traditional military supply education emphasized efficiency and accuracy, but Martinez's example demonstrated the security value of analytical thinking and investigative persistence. We almost missed recognizing her security potential because we focused on administrative efficiency rather than security integration possibilities, Colonel Kim acknowledged during discussions about supply specialist development. Corporal Martinez's investigative capabilities were always present. We just needed to provide security training and investigative opportunities for them to contribute to mission success. The conversation reflected growing institutional awareness that military security effectiveness depended on recognizing investigative potential among supply specialists, not just traditional security personnel. Martinez's success challenged assumptions about which military specialties could contribute criminal detection and security intelligence during routine operations. Meanwhile, at the U.S. Army Supply and Security School, Martinez found herself at the center of curriculum development that would influence supply management training for years to come. Her practical experience in criminal investigation and security analysis provided real-world validation for theoretical concepts that students struggled to understand without operational context. The difference between traditional supply competence and security integration effectiveness, she explained to a class of advanced students, is understanding how inventory management supports security requirements rather than just maintaining administrative accuracy. Her teaching methodology emphasized practical security application over purely administrative education, using case studies from her criminal investigation experience to illustrate principles of analytical thinking, pattern recognition, and security monitoring. Students learned not just supply procedures, but investigative thinking that could enhance their contribution to security effectiveness. Supply management is fundamentally about providing security capabilities that protect military resources and civilian populations rather than just processing administrative functions. Martinez continued during one particularly intensive training session. Analytical methods provide security advantages, but investigative training determines how effectively you can contribute to complex security success. The distinction between traditional administrative competence and security integration effectiveness became a central theme in the curriculum Martinez helped develop. Students learned that effective supply management required not just administrative expertise, but security capabilities that could contribute criminal detection and enhance protection effectiveness during routine operations. Captain Jennifer Martinez, who supervised Martinez's security teaching assignments, noted the exceptional quality of her integration instruction and its significant impact on student security performance. Corporal Martinez's students consistently demonstrate superior analytical capabilities compared to previous supply classes. She's teaching them to think investigatively while maintaining administrative expertise. The documented success of Martinez's integration teaching methods attracted attention from military education specialists who were developing training programs for other support roles. Her emphasis on security integration provided a model that could be adapted for various military specialties requiring both administrative expertise and security awareness. The security integration principle applies beyond supply specialties, observed Major David Rodriguez, who led specialist development programs for the entire supply and security school. Any military specialty can benefit from the kind of security integration that Corporal Martinez demonstrated during her criminal investigation. The discussion reflected broader institutional interest in developing military specialists who could contribute to security regardless of their primary specialty focus. Martinez's example suggested that such security capabilities could be developed through proper training that integrated security education with specialist instruction. 10 months into her assignment at Supply and Security School, Martinez received news that would test her growing expertise in entirely new operational circumstances. The Department of Defense was establishing a specialized supply security unit focused on criminal investigation in complex operational environments, and her name had been recommended for a leadership position. This assignment would involve developing criminal investigation capabilities for supply specialists supporting counterterrorism operations in contested areas, explained Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Davidson during Martinez's comprehensive briefing about the opportunity. You'd be working with our most challenging security requirements and most complex criminal investigation challenges. Martinez considered the implications carefully. The assignment represented both recognition of her specialized expertise and an opportunity to apply her integration methods in the most demanding security circumstances possible. But it also meant leaving the teaching position where she was training the next generation of security-integrated supply specialists. Ma'am, I'm honored by the opportunity, but I want to ensure my current training responsibilities are properly transitioned. The integration programs we've developed are just beginning to demonstrate their potential impact on supply specialist security effectiveness. Lieutenant Colonel Davidson smiled at Martinez's response. That's exactly the kind of thinking that makes you valuable for this assignment. You understand that individual security success should contribute to broader institutional integration capability rather than just personal career advancement. The detailed conversation continued as Davidson explained the comprehensive scope and security requirements of the specialized position. The advanced unit would work with criminal challenges and investigative coordination requirements that push the boundaries of current specialist capabilities, requiring exactly the kind of innovative integration thinking that Martinez had demonstrated throughout her career. Your experience with systematic criminal investigation and your ability to train others in security thinking make you an ideal candidate for specialist leadership, Davidson explained. We need someone who can bridge the gap between supply expertise and security operational effectiveness. Martinez accepted the challenging assignment with the understanding that she would complete her current teaching commitments while beginning comprehensive preparation for the specialized unit. The transition period would allow her to ensure continuity in the integration training programs while developing the advanced expertise required for her expanded security responsibilities. The announcement of Martinez's selection for the specialized security unit created significant interest throughout the supply specialist community. Her rapid progression from routine supply clerk to advanced security assignments represented a new model for specialist career development that emphasized security integration over traditional administrative advancement criteria. Corporal Martinez's career trajectory demonstrates that security excellence can emerge from any supply specialty if properly recognized and developed, observed Colonel Robert Kim during discussions about specialist talent identification. Her success challenges us to look for investigative potential in supply specialties we might not have considered for security integration applications. The conversation reflected growing institutional awareness that traditional specialist career management might miss valuable security capabilities that could develop in supply specialties. Martinez's example suggested the need for more flexible approaches to identifying and developing military security talent across all specialist roles. As Martinez prepared for her transition to the specialized security unit, she reflected thoughtfully on the remarkable journey that had brought her from routine supply clerk to the forefront of military security integration innovation. The investigative skills she had developed through dedicated administrative training and security awareness had opened professional opportunities she could never have imagined when she first picked up her inventory clipboard. The key insight, she wrote in her comprehensive final report from Supply and Security School, is that military effectiveness depends on specialists who understand how their administrative expertise contributes to security success. Excellence emerges when people care enough about mission accomplishment to develop security capabilities beyond their basic specialist requirements. Her profound words would be quoted extensively in military specialist development programs for years to come, serving as inspiration for supply personnel who might be tempted to view their assignments as purely administrative support rather than potential security contributions to operational mission success. The specialized security unit that Martinez joined represented the cutting edge of military supply security capability, combining advanced investigative methods with innovative administrative frameworks to address the most challenging criminal detection requirements. Her assignment involved developing integration concepts that would influence how counterterrorism forces approach supply chain security in hostile environments. Your background in systematic criminal investigation provides exactly the kind of operational foundation we need, explained Colonel Patricia Wells, who commanded the specialized unit. Too often, security integration gets developed without sufficient understanding of how it will be used in actual investigative operations. Martinez's first assignment involved evaluating supply security frameworks that promised revolutionary improvements in criminal detection capability. Her responsibility was determining whether theoretical advantages would translate into practical operational benefits that could enhance mission effectiveness. The integration methods are sophisticated, she reported after comprehensive evaluation, but they require specialists who understand both supply requirements and investigative coordination. The most advanced administrative techniques are only as effective as the security understanding applied to their implementation. Her assessment led to modifications in both the integration methods and the training programs for specialists. The specialized unit learned that administrative advancement required corresponding development in security capabilities to achieve maximum investigative effectiveness. Corporal Martinez's evaluation process has become our standard methodology, Colonel Wells observed during a progress review. She understands that supply security effectiveness results from optimizing the interaction between administrative expertise and investigative coordination capabilities. The success of Martinez's approach to security evaluation attracted attention from research and development organizations throughout the military. Her methods for assessing investigative effectiveness provided a model that could be applied to various supply security systems under development across multiple operational domains. Months later, as the specialized unit prepared for its first operational deployment, Martinez found herself training teams that would use the integration methods and investigative frameworks she had helped develop. The circular nature of her career, from routine supply clerk to criminal investigator to teacher to developer to trainer, reflected the interconnected nature of military security development. Remember, she told the teams during their final training exercise, the most sophisticated supply security integration methods cannot replace systematic thinking and investigative awareness. Your administrative expertise provides capabilities, but your security judgment determines how effectively those capabilities serve the mission. The deployment would test both the advanced integration systems and the training methods that Martinez had developed. Success would validate her approach to combining administrative expertise with criminal investigation, while failure would require fundamental reassessment of the unit's capabilities. This is the ultimate test, Colonel Wells observed as the teams prepared for deployment. We'll discover whether our combination of advanced administrative methods and enhanced security training produces the investigative advantages we've been seeking. The deployment results exceeded all expectations. The teams successfully detected criminal networks and coordinated investigative operations that would have been impossible to address using traditional methods. Their success validated both the integration development process and the training methodology that Martinez had created. The deployment demonstrated that administrative advancement and security development must proceed together, Martinez wrote in her comprehensive after-action report. Neither alone produces maximum effectiveness, but together they create integration capabilities that surpass what either could achieve independently. Her conclusions influenced military supply security development programs for years to come, establishing principles that guided the integration of administrative expertise with criminal investigation across multiple domains of military operations. As Sergeant Jessica Martinez stood before the assembled military leadership, receiving recognition for her transformative contributions to supply security and criminal investigation, she reflected on the extraordinary journey that had begun with routine inventory checks in a remote supply depot. "What you've accomplished," General Foster said during the formal ceremony, "demonstrates that security excellence can emerge from any administrative specialty when individuals understand how their expertise contributes to operational mission success. You've shown that supply management combined with investigative thinking can transform routine clerks into critical security assets." Martinez's response captured the essence of her experience and the lessons it provided for military supply security service. "General, my success resulted from opportunities to serve investigatively and institutional support for combining administrative expertise with security coordination requirements. Supply excellence matters, but it reaches its full potential when combined with security training and operational mission focus." Her inspiring story would continue to influence future generations of military supply specialists, demonstrating that every administrative assignment offered opportunities for security contribution and investigative impact. The supply depot where her journey began remained a powerful symbol of the potential that existed in every military administrative specialty for those who understood how their integration capabilities could contribute to security mission success. Sergeant Jessica Martinez had conclusively proved that administrative expertise combined with criminal investigation could transform any military specialty into critical security capability. Her enduring legacy would live on in the advanced integration training program she developed, the supply specialists she inspired, and the fundamental understanding that military effectiveness depended on individuals who approached every administrative responsibility with security awareness and unwavering commitment to investigative mission accomplishment.